Philippines' ukay-ukay empire, how second-hand clothes crushed local fashion. In the Philippines, used clothes from abroad are hotter than local brands. Welcome to Weird Geo Economy, the show where we unpack the strangest financial ecosystem shaping lives, culture, and industry. And today we're digging into closets, literally, to explore how a nation built an underground economy on other people's donated jeans and jackets. This is the story of ukay-ukay, the resale fashion wave that outdressed an entire local industry. We're in Baguio City, the cool mountain capital of thrift and the birthplace of the ukay-ukay boom. But you'll find these stores in Cebu, Manila, Davao, and small towns across the archipelago. Ukay-ukay, derived from the Filipino word hukay, meaning to dig, refers to second-hand clothes imported from countries like the US, Japan, South Korea, and even Australia, sold at rock-bottom prices, often piled in massive bins for shoppers to literally dig through. From Nike hoodies to vintage Levi's to once designer bags, these items flood street markets, pop-up shops, and entire thrift warehouses, often illegally imported in 100-kilogram sacks labeled relief goods. This is the Philippines' second-hand fashion economy, a phenomenon so big it has outperformed local clothing brands, created thousands of jobs, and undermined the domestic textile industry. The logic is simple. Imported second-hand clothes are cheaper than anything produced locally. Trendier, with global appeal, better quality, often branded or high-end. Unique, giving shoppers access to styles that local stores don't offer. Ukay-ukay is more than just bargain hunting. It's a national habit. Filipinos from all classes shop ukay, from broke students to middle-class workers to fashion influencers. Some sellers specialize in Class A sacks, the goldmine loads with recognizable brands. Others sell items by the kilo, letting customers resell for a profit on Facebook Marketplace, TikTok Lives, or street corners. And behind the racks and bins is an entire supply chain of underground importers, middlemen, customs bribes, and retail hustlers, fueling an industry that operates almost entirely in the grey zone. Because fashion is expensive, and the local garment industry simply can't compete with bulk imported fast fashion, especially when that fashion is already heavily marked down, donated, or discarded abroad. The Philippines has struggled for decades to establish a strong local textile brand identity. Domestic manufacturers often face high production costs, weak economies of scale, limited innovation, zero protection from illegal imports. Meanwhile, ukay-ukay thrives on volume, with entire container loads of used clothing entering the country under the radar. Though technically banned under Republic Act No. 4653, which prohibits the importation of used clothing for resale, the law is rarely enforced. Why? Because the economy depends on it. Thousands of vendors, transporters, warehouse owners, and micro-retailers rely on ukay for their livelihoods, and millions of Filipinos depend on it for affordable fashion. This thriving resale empire includes importers, often operating through middlemen in ports like Subic and Davao, sneaking in second-hand bundles marked as relief or donations. Wholesalers, who buy bales by the ton and sort them into resale tiers. Retail vendors who set up roadside stalls, night markets, and digital storefronts. Customers, from college kids on a budget to influencers flipping rare finds on Instagram. And local fashion designers now forced to compete with $1 jackets and 50-cent blouses that were never meant to be resold. The entire system runs on volume, hustle, and a sense of cultural fashion identity that now leans more toward vintage Gap sweatshirts than Filipino-manufactured polos. Some bales are sold in a blind lottery where buyers only see the label, like UK branded winterwear, and hope the contents include profitable gems like the North Face or Uniqlo. UK sellers live stream their inventory unpacking on Facebook, auctioning off items in real time to hundreds of viewers who bid via comments. The Philippines is one of the only countries where selling imported second-hand clothes is technically illegal, yet also one of the most reliant on it, a legal contradiction sustained by culture and cash flow. In the Philippines, second-hand clothes aren't just fashion, they're survival, status, and a statement. Ukay-ukay isn't a trend. It's a full-blown economic model built on the leftovers of the global north, rebranded and resold in the markets of the south. It's part hustle, part heritage, and 100% Filipino at this point, even if the tags still say Made in California. For more stories from the underbelly of the global economy, subscribe to Weird Geo Economy, where yesterday's donation becomes tomorrow's business model.